Hello everyone, my name's Garry, and I thought I would do this wee video today to try and talk about some things, some issues that I've went through in my life, and hopefully they can help other people. Just to give you a bit about myself, I'm 37 years old, and for almost 20 years of my life, just under 20 years of my life, I was in active cocaine and alcohol addiction. I'm very happy to say that I'm over 18 months clean and sober through the 12-step recovery programme in Cocaine Anonymous, and it's changed my life dramatically for someone who couldn't get clean from drugs or alcohol. And just some of the things that have happened in that 18-month time and how I got there, and the reason that I'm kind of sharing this video today is I feel that it could possibly help people. Yeah, so since I was a bit like a kind of young boy, I always felt like there was something kind of different about me. I kind of never really fitted in or anything in life. I felt like I just struggled to connect with people, even from a young age. I was very reclusive. When I look back now, when I think back to some of the things that happened, I just wasn't like a normal child. And I kind of always had a fear of what other people thought of me. Fear of judgment, fear of being laughed at, all that kind of stuff. And I think that's kind of normal behaviour for people, but mine was heightened massively in my mind anyway. And throughout the years, it really affected me subconsciously. I didn't know it. I didn't know why I was the way I was. I just knew that I didn't fit in socially with people. I didn't fit in school up until I hit kind of late teenage years, maybe 15, 16. Then I started to kind of get friendship groups and fit in. But then I started to use cocaine, and it completely changed my perception of the world. I started to be able to be confident with friends, with females, all that kind of stuff. And it was very, very quickly, it got a grip of me, it got a hold of me, where I was using cocaine most weekends. I was actively looking to find cocaine. I was getting cocaine and not paying for it. I was becoming very reclusive in my house, very, very controlling and manipulative of partners. And this is all stuff that I found out about myself by going through the 12-step programme. For anybody who doesn't know what the 12-step programme are, it's a set of steps which make you have a look at yourself and the things you've done to people in the past, and it kind of explains the reason why you are the way you are. Now I'm a full-time cocaine addict. I'm an addict and an alcoholic, which means that I cannot safely use alcohol or drugs because it does something to me which it doesn't do to the average person, to where I can't stop using. I'll keep using and using and using and using until I've got no money left or I end up in hospital. And that's been my experience my whole life. And it's all to do with the way I feel inside, the low self-esteem, the hatred I have for myself, and I try and numb that pain by using the drugs. But what happens through time is eventually the drugs stop working and they start adding to the problems in your life. So for me, it would be I wouldn't be turning up for jobs. I'd be missing jobs all the time. I'd be getting fired from jobs all the time. I'd be ruining every relationship I was in. I'd be doing really hurtful and horrendous things to my family. I put my parents through so much, man. Like, when I think back to the way I treated my parents growing up, and when I was in active addiction all the time, and just they were constantly worried about me, constantly fearful that I wasn't going to wake up. They didn't know if they'd find me dead somewhere. And luckily, through the grace of God, I found the rooms of Cocaine Anonymous, and it changed my life because I found out that there was a solution to what I was going through. Because I tried everything. I tried gym memberships, I tried going running, I tried cold water dipping, I tried everything that I thought would help me. And the truth is, if you're an addict like me, and a proper addict who's got the mangled mind that I have, then I can't do this successfully on my own. Now, there'll be people out there who'll say that they were addicts and they've managed to do it without the programme, and well done to you. Like, I'm not going to give you a reason why what you're doing is wrong. If it works for you, it works for you. But for me, it's more about just staying clean. Just staying clean's not enough for me. And I've experienced this, and I'm experiencing it right now in my life, where me being clean and not doing a 12-step programme in my life, I'm left with this mind, this poisonous mind, which is the reason I've used drugs my whole life. It's because I cannot live with this mind without a substance in my body or a 12-step programme in my life. And the 12-step programme is a set of tools that make you a better person, because I'm very selfish and self-centred to the core. It's just naturally who I am. I'm selfish. I always think about my needs, what I want. Oh, I'm depressed. Oh, I'm sad. Oh, please feel sorry for me. And that's been a reasoning. It's been a cycle in my full life of being this person. So the 12-step programme teaches us to be selfless, to think of others, to put yourself last in your household, to do things for other people that you wouldn't normally do, and do things and not expect things back. I grew up in a society where you're expected to, if somebody disrespects you, you have to fight them or hurt them back. And I now see it from going through this programme that that's all ego and pride, and it's all stuff that it's really harmful to humans. As I say, the strongest people in the world are the people who can stay silent, who can turn the other cheek, who can move on and forgive. I'm not one of those people. And then what that does to me is that resentment builds up within me to where I can't let go of it, and that other person's getting on with their life and it's destroying me internally. So this programme teaches me how to do that, to trust in the process, to trust that me forgiving somebody is the right thing to do. Me helping somebody is the right thing to do, and not expecting anything in return. And kind of where I'm at the minute is I've been struggling a bit, really struggling recently, because I suffer for all these things. So like, I work for myself, I have my own business, and I'm waking up every day with constant anxiety through things going wrong in my work, thinking things are going to go wrong, imposter syndrome, thinking you're not good enough, thinking that customers aren't going to like the results you give them, thinking that somebody's going to complain, thinking that something's always going to go wrong. And when you're like that, you're in that constant fight or flight mode. And then what that does is that progresses into other behaviours in my life that I'm not happy with. Things that go against everything that I believe in as a human being. Behaviours that I'm not proud of and that destroy me internally, man. And it affects my whole family, to the point where I'm now trying to find out again to get back on that straight and narrow path that keeps me okay. And the way that things like that keep me okay is by getting to Cocaine Anonymous meetings, by helping others, and by doing what I'm doing today, is getting out in nature, getting out here and enjoying nature, because I really feel that I have a connection with like nature and stuff. I believe that my purpose in life is to be out in nature and to help people, and that brings me on to the spiritual side of what I try and live today. Now, I believe firmly that my whole life I've been searching for a spiritual connection. Now, you're going to have naysayers and people who say, what a load of rubbish. I get that, and that's fine if you believe that. I used to be one of those people, but I firmly believe that there's something out there that I try and connect to every day when when I'm on a good frame of mind, and it helps me massively. I believe that all this stuff wasn't put here for a reason. I believe that there's something out there, and I'm not saying it's the religious version of God in any way, but I believe that if you connect to that thing and you try and listen to the wee voice inside you, the little voice inside you that tells you you're about to do wrong, you'll have a better life. And I try and live by that today. It's really difficult at times because, sorry, I get stopped with somebody stopped me there to have a chat. So I believe if you try and stay close to that power, that connection to nature and stuff, then your life will get better. Because I really struggle with, I've got a mind who's constantly telling me I'm not good enough, telling me that everything I do is wrong, telling me that you'll never amount to anything, telling me that, oh, you don't have the big fancy house and the big fancy car, you're nothing, and all that stuff means nothing in reality. See, in reality, it means nothing. It's about who you are as a person and your presence in your family's life. You see, most of the people that have got this stuff are, I'm saying most of the people, but there's the people that I know that have got these fancy houses and cars are all doing illegal activities, and it's all stuff that it'll get them somehow in the end, whether it's internally or externally. It's like thinking about them trying to sleep at night knowing they're doing this stuff, and I think subconsciously and spiritually it'll get you somehow. And what I've started to kind of realise is the material world doesn't make me happy. It never has. As much as I've tried to make it and force it to make me happy, it never does. It never makes me happy. 4 holidays a year, designer clothes and stuff, and I've experienced this, and it never works. It never fills that void that's within me. And the only thing that I've ever found that fills that void within me is a spiritual connection to, you can call it God if you like, and I'm really on a journey at the minute to try and get back to that connection that I had, because I've been suffering, I've been really struggling the last couple of months about where I'm at. I'm over 18 months clean and sober from drugs and alcohol, and I am living with that toxic mind that brought me into these rooms. And that's why you have to really work hard at your recovery. There's a saying in recovery, and it's faith without works is dead. So you can have all the faith in the world, but if you're not actively putting the effort in, the work in to get that connection, it'll never work for you. And I can't live just sober. Me being sober is not enough for me to live, because I can't live with the head I have. I completely understand how, I used to always wonder how people could unalive themselves when they were, like, I couldn't understand why people done it. I completely understand why people do it now, because see, if you've never suffered from this thing, this constant battle in your head that tells you you're not good enough, this kind of, I don't want to say weak mind, but a mind that just is constantly your worst enemy, constantly telling you that everything you're doing is not good enough, everything that you are is not good enough. I get why it's an easier option to just say, I don't want to be here anymore. And that's the reality of the things that people are going through today. Mental health is astronomical, because social media shows you that this life, that the world's set up, that human beings have set up to have this life that's supposed to mean something, means nothing in reality. Because you see these people driving about and all the big fancy stuff, and they've got millions of pounds in the bank, and people think that's success. Success is who you are. Success is how you are as a human. I said it a minute ago, and success is the legacy you leave behind. Are people going to remember you for how kind and gentle you were, how much you helped them? Or are they going to remember that you picked them up in a Range Rover next week, the week before? Or, like, these things don't matter in life. And take it from me, I'm not saying that as a guy. Like, I actively have a mind that wants to chase that stuff and thinks that I'm not good enough if I don't have it. And that's not the truth, man. The truth is, I've got 3 children who adore me, who think the world of me, and I've got a mind that tells me that I'm never going to amount to anything for them. I've got a mind that I could do 10 amazing things for the kids, and I'll do that one time where I've lost my temper, and my mind will say, that's you, that's who you are. You're a scumbag, you're a bad parent, And the truth is, in the past I was a bad parent. I was, and I'm trying to make this video to try and, if anybody out there is struggling or going through this kind of stuff, it's important that you reach out to folk and you speak about this. Because if you're anything like me, my head wants me in isolation, not talking about where I'm at in life. And when I'm like that, it's a dangerous, dangerous place for me, because I'm thinking about the worst possible option for my life. And it's only took me coming into here to get vulnerable and speak about this stuff. And I'm not doing this to get praise or to look good. I'm doing this because I genuinely, over the last couple of months, how I've felt has been horrendous, and I don't want other people to feel like they can't experience the good that comes from doing the right things in life. Drugs and alcohol's been removed from my life, and I've had some great times, but I've also had some horrendous times because I choose to go back to how I want to live, what I need to make me feel okay. And any time I do that, I go spiritually off the track that I'm on constantly, and then I wonder why I'm waking up in the morning thinking it's a good idea to unalive myself. I don't know if I'll get away with saying that on YouTube or wherever I post this, but I need to be honest. It's tough living with a mind that doesn't want the best for you, that doesn't think you'll ever amount to anything. And see the people out there who say you just get up and get on with it, they'll never have the experience that you have. They'll never understand what this is like. Everybody's different, everybody was raised different, everybody was raised with different values, different parents. So nobody can ever compare their life to yours. So anybody who tells you that, just don't listen to them. Don't listen to those people, because they've maybe got a better set of tools to cope with that. They've maybe got a better set of morals, or they're just better at masking stuff than you are. And that's okay. I used to be one of those people. I was in active drug addiction, saying to people that mental health was a load of rubbish. And it's not until I see, since I've got clean, why my mental health and the way I think has contributed to my actions the last 20 years of my life. I stopped growing up at 17 years old because I started using drugs constantly, and now I'm just finding out about myself, about the things that have caused me these problems my whole life. So see, if anybody out there is struggling with this stuff, it's important that you talk about it or reach out to me, and I'll try and do my best to help you. Because it's important, man. It's really important that you talk about it. If you're in addiction and you're actively wanting to change that addiction, I would advise you to go to Cocaine Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous. Now, Cocaine Anonymous is for anyone. It doesn't matter what addiction you have. Some of my greatest friends in recovery are heroin addicts. Some of my greatest friends in recovery are opioid addicts. Some of them are cannabis addicts. It doesn't matter. The name Cocaine Anonymous is for anyone who wants to go to it. And it's important that you get to the fellowship and find out what you suffer from. Because in my opinion, if you suffer from what I suffer from, then a 12-step programme is the only thing that's going to give you any relief. Because you'll find out when you come into recovery that the drugs are not the problem. It's your thinking and the way you are. The drugs are just a solution. It's the same with people who have got a sex addiction, or a gambling addiction, or a food addiction. They're trying to run away from who they actually are, because they can't deal with how they feel inside. And that's the truth. You're trying to get away from the person that you are. This programme, it makes you face up to that person. And it makes you see where you've went wrong in life. It makes you make amends to the people that you've harmed. And you can walk down the street with your head held high. I don't know why I wanted to make this video this morning. I have no idea. It came into my head when I was praying and meditating. I do meditation, and it's to try and see where my thinking's going for the day and seeing if I can keep an eye on it. And for some reason, when I was meditating this morning, my thoughts came into take the camera with you and go a walk and just talk about where you're at and what's happening with you. And if it can help somebody, even one person, then it's been worth it. Now, I don't want to do this to look like everything within me is screaming, don't do this, don't put yourself out there. You're going to embarrass yourself, or people are going to find out who you actually are. And I'm okay with that today. Because I don't try and hide who I am. I don't try and hide that I'm struggling. I don't try and hide that I want to try and live a more spiritual life and get away from the materialistic side of the world. And that's what I'm going to try and do. So, I'm sorry if I bored anyone or you don't agree with anything I'm saying, that's fine. You're entitled to your own opinion. But if this video helps you in any way, then please reach out to me or any other people that you think can help you. There is no shame in being an addict. It's an illness. You're suffering from an illness. Don't ever let anybody tell you different. Or anybody who has not experienced what you're going through when it comes to addiction has no clue on what's actually going on with you. The 12-step programme in the rooms of Alcoholics and Cocaine Anonymous will teach you what you suffer from is an illness and it is not your fault. And there is a solution, there is a way out, especially if it's anything like Scotland where you are. Scotland is rife for cocaine addiction. It is everywhere. You cannot walk down the street without seeing a cocaine addict. You cannot walk into a pub without seeing a cocaine addict. It's an absolute pandemic, and it's taking lives every day. Every day people are killing themselves because they can't deal with who they are or how they feel inside. So I really hope that this has helped anyone. And again, if you want to get in touch, contact me through Facebook. Just send me a message. Not Facebook, sorry, YouTube. And I will try and do my best to give you a hand. I'll just talk a wee bit about where I'm at, where I am just now. So I live in a village and it's just outside Glasgow called Neilston. And I'm up, it's a place called The Pad. It's a lovely naturistic place with water, trees, forest. A beautiful place. I'm up here with the dog, Coco. So I'm up here with the dog, just trying to enjoy nature. Try and get out in nature and it will help you. I'm just going to leave it there. And again, thank you for anybody who's took the time to watch and listen. Thanks.